Hello, I'm Mike, and welcome to my train room. Hello, everyone. I thought today would be a good day to finally get around to doing a overall view of the layout. If you're not living in an area that's warm all year round, I hope you stay warm because it's 14 degrees here right now, and that's kind of the high for today. So I thought this would be a good day to do some indoor stuff. So we're going to get started. I'll give you a quick overview of the layout, the existing old scale layout. And it's kind of messy. It's quite messy, but got a lot of things going on right now with it, and it's far, far, far from being complete. But we'll start right here at the controls. We got the big Z transformer. Couple of the switches for switch tracks way over there on that loop, and then the two here for these two right here, this one and the one across from it, to go for the passenger train to come around to the station there. This originally was planned to start out to be the reminiscence of my childhood. I wanted to get the two trains that I had as a child, as a young 10-year-old, and kind of build the layout that I couldn't afford then, or my parents couldn't afford, and some of the classic cars that I would see back then but didn't have. That's what it started out to be. It kind of started evolving into other things. My attempt at scenery with my little hillside here. And the Norma Town Station on top. And we've got a few old classic items on here, like the cow unloading and the cattle cars, and seem to have a little bit of an interruption there. I don't know. I've got a fresh battery in it, but it just decided to shut down. I guess it's cold too. Okay. Something I started doing back many years ago after a long hiatus from my childhood, but probably around 1987, 88, I read an article in Model Train magazine that a guy took his old childhood train engine. I still had my two engines. That's all I had. My mom saved the two engines from two different sets. One was a Lionel and one was a Marx. All the cars she gave away to some kid, and why she kept the two engines, I don't know, but I had those two engines. And this guy in the Model Railroad magazine article, he took and made a circle of track on half a sheet of plywood and made a Christmas tree stand out of it. And at that time, Lionel offered they still do offer a Christmas box car. And so I went out and bought the Christmas box car and made me a tree stand with a single loop of track. And as you can see, that 1987 right there was the first one I bought. I picked up that 86 later at a train show. But then when the next year came along, I bought the 88, the 89, the 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, and so on, until I got all the way up to I think 2000 and no, I think 99 is where I stopped, and I just didn't get any more. Well, then, since then, I have been able to add on a few more. I've got the 2001, 2000. I'm sorry, no, 99. It was like 2011. and right there. So I've added on the 2012, 2013, and that I found at various shows or hobby shops. Still looking for some others. And then most recent 2025, which my wife got me for Christmas. And the rest of those are just some extras and some odd and end Coke Christmas cars. But this rocket car here was one that was in my original Lionel set. That was my favorite. That and the exploding box car, which I have. I don't think I do have one out here right down there. That was probably my favorite car of all when I was 10. And there comes the cat to join in. It's Brother Boy. But anyway, as it evolves now, this is going to be a farm area with the cattle unloading, siding. And some of those little creatures you see around there are due to I also have a 9-year-old grandson who likes to put little things on the layout when he's here. And it comes on around the high track and the low track. The high track being old 30, I believe it's old 30 from Menards, and the lower track being the old 27 track from. There's probably a mixture in there of Lionel and Marks and whatever. I had a bunch of old track from that accumulated, so I just used that. And then we get around here to, let's see, we've got the Hobo car back there, which is an older classic. Lionel Whistling Station. And we got the little guard shack here, where he pops out when the train goes by, or it can be set up for that way. And over here we got the milk cars and the milk platform. They still need a little tune up here and there to get them to operate correctly. We'll look at that at another later date. And then back there is a log flume that you can dump the logs on one end. They ride up to the top and dump themselves into another car. That's not an original oldie. That's a reproduction that I bought at a train show not too long ago. Then the last edition, well, I had to add on this extra portion here to put the second loop on for the passenger train. It's the only operations that this layout allows, is the passenger train can. Now that I've got got the Menards Santa Fe engines over there, the blue ones, blue and silver, that I can stop because they got a separate handheld throttle. And you just leave your regular throttle up on full power and use your handheld to remotely run them. So that way I can stop it out there on the main, open up the switches, bring the passenger train out from one station, bring it all the way over and into the other loop. There will eventually be another station right here. I just haven't got it into it yet. And then I can go back to resume the traveling on of the Santa Fe's there. That little yellow Union Pacific, that was my original engine from when I was probably 10, 11. And I got that 1 year, that's the Lionel. And then another year, I think 2 consecutive years, my uncle got me an electric train set, was the New Haven, which is Marks. And of course most of those cars there are Menards, but the Marks New Haven and the Lionel Union Pacific are the 2 that my mom kept and gave me back when I was a young man and married. That nice little Lionel sign I got there, I don't know exactly what shop it came out of, but my stepson, who lives in Hawaii, saw that in a little secondhand store or antique store there in Hawaii and asked me if I wanted it, and I said, well, yeah. So after sending him the money for the sign and a lot more to ship it, I got it. And like I say, everything's kind of a mess and in turmoil right now, but this is the last add-on because I kept buying Menards buildings and I wanted a little fast food area, but I didn't have any way to actually run trackage down here. So this is more just for looks with the railroad than it is railroad. But of course, got the Starbucks, Taco Bell, and the Arby's there, and then the Ford dealer and the Sinclair Gasoline. And I kind of consider this to be my 50s, 60s era right here. Got the diner. I'm in the process of building a drive-in. I've got the roof off right now because I'm getting ready to do some interior work on it. And again, this is my first time at scratch building. And this was patterned after a drive-in that actually existed in Winchester, Indiana, where my wife grew up. And we found a couple old pictures online. I used that to basically pattern this after. And you can see the restrooms are fully equipped, and I'm still in the process of putting little speakers on the cars. I think I've just about got them all done now. I see that car's rolled up too far, but thought I had it glued down. And this has been my last area of concentration. Got the projection booth here, the ticket booth, and the still need a drive-in screen. I had a good, nice little Tab 4 tablet that worked great for it. Got it at a yard sale for $5, but it decided to quit working, so now I don't have a screen. I've got some neat video to put on it with the old drive-in video type stuff. But that's pretty much an overall of where we're at right now, and we'll break these down little by little and make some more videos of each area. And I'll give you one quick shot of some of the cars that I've got right now. Of course, we got the Lionel passenger train here. And we got a few steam engines. Some work, some don't. Some needs work. The Seaboard up there, the 10, it's a wind up. Both engines are wind ups. I just happened to find that in a Peddler's Mall type store, and it was at a real good price for the cars and the engine, even though the engine was missing a bracket that holds the motor in. And I was going to try to fabricate something, but then I found a second engine at a train show for a fairly good price, so I just went and bought a second engine. I don't have a key yet, so I haven't even tried it. But that's pretty much the layout and the collection of old scale cars that we have. So, like I say, I'll try to keep this brief, and the next few videos will be more concentrated on one particular area in what we're doing. Until then, keep on railroading.